Have you ever made a huge mistake, messed up so badly, and wondered if you could ever be truly welcome back? The story of the prodigal son, found in Luke chapter 15 in the New Testament, is one of the most famous parables Yeshua ever told, and it's a powerful picture of unconditional love, forgiveness, and redemption. It's not just about a lost son, it's about a father's heart, the departure and the downfall. The parable begins with a younger son who demands his inheritance from his father while the father is still alive, essentially wishing his father were dead. This was an incredibly disrespectful and shocking request. The father surprisingly grants it anyways. The son then takes his wealth to a distant country and squanders it on wild living or lavish living. Soon, a famine hits, and he finds himself utterly destitute. He ends up feeding pigs, a truly humiliating job for a Jewish man. He's so hungry, he yearns for the pig's food. This is rock bottom. He's lost everything: his wealth, his dignity, and his connection to his family. This part of the story shows us the consequences of pride, greed, and living apart from wisdom and love. The return and the father's love. At his lowest point, the son comes to his senses. He realizes his father's hired servants live better than he does. He decides to return home, not expecting to be a son, but hoping to be hired as a servant. He rehearses his speech. Probably he said, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son." But what happens next is the heart of the parable. While the son is still a long way off, his father sees him, and he doesn't wait. He runs to his son, throws his arms around him, and kisses him. He doesn't let his son finish his rehearsed speech about being a servant. Instead, he immediately calls for the best robe, a ring for his finger, sandals for his feet, and orders the fattened calf to be killed for a celebration. He declares, "For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." This is a picture of God's incredibly unconditional love and forgiveness for us. The older brother and our lesson. The story doesn't end there. The older brother, who had been faithful and obedient, becomes angry and resentful when he hears about the celebration. He feels his father is unfair, having never celebrated him in the same way. He represents those who are so focused on their own obedience and earning God's favor that they missed the joy of God's grace and forgiveness. The father gently reminds the older brother, "Son, you are always with me, and all that is mine is yours. It was fitting to celebrate and to be glad. For this your brother was dead and is alive. He was lost and is found." The lesson for us is profound. 1. God's love is unconditional. No matter how far you've strayed or how badly you've messed up, God is always waiting with open arms, ready to welcome you home. 2. Repentance is key. The son came to his senses and turned back. We need to acknowledge our mistakes and turn back to God. 3. Beware of self-righteousness. Don't miss the joy of God's grace by comparing yourself to others or feeling you've earned your place. We are all welcomed by grace. This parable is an invitation. Come home to the Father. No matter what, He's waiting for you.